To Dubs Talk Live, I am Zena Keita with the Monte Poole, and we are here to talk about the Warriors. Again, Dubs Talk Live presented by FitAid, and energy is what we need right now to have this conversation about this game
got that right.
tonight. Warriors dropped to 1-9 on the road, and you know, we got a win yesterday. Couldn't do the 1-1 on the road, but dropped 1-9. Pelicans improved to 10-7 on the season. Man, there was a lot of bad tonight.
Yeah.
But I'm a positive person.
Oh, boy. Here we are. I know where we're going now.
I like to think about the good things.
Okay,
And the thing about it is, this tonight was, I mean, for all intents and purposes, really kind of like an exhibition game.
Yeah.
Right? Almost like a scrimmage.
Yeah.
Right? Think about the times where you're just trying to practice your reps and trying to make sure that you understand the plays and that you get the feel of the people around you. That's what these players needed. And thank you to the Pelicans for giving that to us. But again, like I said, I like to focus on some of the positives. Number one, Zion, say what you want about his injury and the time that he had on the court. In 23 minutes, scored under 10 points. We kept him to that. Brandon Ingram, C.J. McCollum, and Zion Williamson average 63 points per game when they're together. They only scored 58.
Oh, that's a win.
That's a win,
hey, in a
folks.
game like this, you got to take your wins where you find them. Yeah, I got you. I got you.
That's what we're talking about. So now
you.
let's talk about some of the things that the young kids did today that were really good. I want to start off with my bro, Jonathan Kuminga.
Okay.
I am so excited to see this guy in action when he is really feeling his groove. 39 minutes tonight, he played as if, I mean, if you saw him out there, you would have thought he played two. Absolutely not out of breath, had all the energy in the world, got a season high of 4 3-pointers, 3 of them in the fourth quarter. But really, I was just super excited about the fact that he was out there for so long, because Jonathan Kuminga is someone that is definitely needing that trust from the coaches. And being able to be on the court with all of those rotations and have the ball in his hands and being able to be trusted as almost a floor general in situations. This was great for Jonathan Kuminga.
Yeah, getting him a lot of minutes is, what he needed. One of the things he needs. He didn't play what I say, an efficient game. 6 of 20 from the field, 4 of 12 from 3. He had 3 turnovers. But you know what he did though? He gave 2 dramatic highlights. I mean, he had the one with just like a minute into the game where Zion was on a breakaway, going in for a dunk, a layup or something, and basically J.K. said, no. He got that chase down block.
Did you guys see them laughing after it too?
Yes.
They were like, oh, okay, this is the competition.
Came from behind and just smacked it off the backboard and went the other. So that was one. And the other one was on a missed shot, I think was Jordan Poole missed shot. And he came out of nowhere.
That putback dunk was nasty.
He put it back, and he was so high that he had to make sure his head didn't hit the backboard. I mean, his hand was
above the rim.
So those 2 highlights you will see periodically on every sports show across the country tonight, because that's the kind of stuff that J.K. can do. Now, the rest of his game, there were some issues, but he's going to give you some highlights because he's a tremendous athlete, and he's going to just do stuff that pops, stuff that make you go, oh, wow. And so tonight, those 2 moments I think stood out.
He is such an electrifying player.
Yes.
And when he gets that consistency built into his game, I mean, it's going to be absolutely magical to watch. So I was super excited about what Jonathan Kuminga did. Another thing that I was super excited about, Patrick Baldwin Jr. got his first NBA points. And he did it with a really good stat line. He had 7 points, 5 rebounds, 3 steals.
Yeah.
That's legit.
Yeah, and he just came up yesterday from the G League.
Right.
And both he and Ryan Rollins came up, and for him to get some minutes in the night, he played 16 minutes and just get the first NBA points. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
For a guy who came into the Warriors out of the draft, and they drafted him late in the first round, obviously. But there was so much criticism about, he didn't play well in his 1 season in college.
Right.
He didn't show well at the draft combine. He didn't do well there. Right. So it's like, oh man, can this guy play or not? Well, the Warriors like what they have seen a lot.
They do.
So, to see him just get in an NBA game and look like he belongs at times, that's a good start.
Well, one, he physically looks like he belongs.
Yes.
He's such a smooth player at that frame.
Yes.
Being able to take the ball up the court, lead the break if he needs to, then also has a beautiful shot. I absolutely love watching him play, even in Santa Cruz. But one of the things that I love the most about him is according to the coaching staff, and you can see it in his game, he is a quick learner, right? Obviously, the son of a coach, that's been kind of like his storyline all season, but he's such a quick learner, and he's such a quick adjuster, and you saw that a lot tonight, too.
Yeah, you can see a guy who, a lot of guys go out there and they're overthinking.
Right.
And when you're thinking on the basketball court, it slows you down. In his case, you can already see he kind of knows what to do, when to do it, and he moves with a certain ease. And so I think in that instance, like tonight, you saw that a few times where he knew what to do. And some players are still thinking, he's already doing. So that puts him a little bit ahead of some guys. So I just thought for him to get in this game tonight certainly was something that gives him a little bit of a boost. Confidence-wise, self-assurance-wise, and just to believe that he can play at this league because New Orleans is a good team. I think New Orleans can be a playoff team this year. And
1,000%.
For him to go out there, and they didn't rest any of their guys.
I was going to say, they did not hold back.
No, they had
It's
Zion,
not that they were like, oh,
they had
well.
McCollum, they had all their guys out there, So I think for Baldwin, this will be just a good step in the right direction to let him know he can play in the NBA.
For sure. He's the least experienced out of this young core.
He's still a kid.
Yet he does play with that level of just ease. And I love the word you said, ease, because he looks like it's just like, I've been here before. I've been here before. All right, let's go on to our next young buddy. Moses Moody. Moses had some really great plays tonight. He had some great drives tonight. He took the ball coast to coast, and this play right here, finishing and one. I mean, I love Moses Moody just because he's such a mature young man and just so calm and patient with his game. But tonight he really showed that patience, not trying to force his shot, not trying to force moves and things of that sort across the court. Yes, he did have some turnovers, but in 32 minutes on the court, we can take that. And that's another thing we talked about, building the confidence. 32 minutes in an NBA game against a tough opponent like New Orleans, that's great for his confidence.
Yeah, I mean, Moses is a guy who, we always say he's an old soul. And he goes out there and he just doesn't make a lot of mistakes usually, but the ones he makes tend to glare when they do come up. It's it's almost like, I can't believe Moses did that because he should know better, And that's one of the things that Coach Steve Kerr has kind of stressed is that he hasn't gotten as many minutes as maybe he could because he goes out there and he's discovering the hard way that some of the things you could do at Arkansas, you can't do in the NBA. And so he's learning that as he goes along, but they know he can make shots. They know he's a decent defender, and he'll get better at those things. But tonight, I thought giving him 32, 33 minutes, the three turnovers aren't, to me, not terrible in this game tonight. Because he did play most of the game, and so that's not terrible. But just to see him go out there and play as hard as he did, got 4 rebounds, and got into the game and did some things that you say, okay, Moses, he can earn some minutes this way if he keeps going.
I obviously have gotten the chance to see Moses Moody. Kara's mentioned before, I am the sideline reporter for the Santa Cruz Warriors, so I've gotten to see Kuminga and Moody, Patrick Baldwin Jr. now, also Ryan Rollins, all in that environment of Santa Cruz. And yes, the G League does have NBA level talent. It's where they go to develop. However, there's a different pace on the NBA level, right? And so you're expected to play at that elevated pace with less turnovers. It's a lot of pressure. And so seeing these guys get an opportunity to have a game that kind of doesn't count almost, I mean, it counts. We know it does. We know it does. But in the sense that we knew going into this, Steph's not playing. Clay's not playing. Draymond's not playing. It's not as if Las Vegas was like, hold up. Jordan Poole, Moses Moody, Kuminga, everyone's going to step up and it's going to be a whole new core. We knew that this was going to be a bit of that kind of scrimmage feel.
Underdog city for the Warriors.
Underdog city, exactly.
They weren't going to, If they won this game, it'd be like, whoa.
Exactly. So it's really great to see them get that opportunity to play at that NBA pace and step into it. Obviously, the first quarter wasn't great, 16-35. But what I loved, more positives, folks. More positives. You look at the second quarter, 25-30. Right? If you break this down, we're getting closer. But if you break this down.
Keep in mind, though, that in the second quarter, you're seeing more of the Pelicans' second unit. And so you can close that gap a little bit because the Warriors basically play with their second and third unit guys almost. You know what I mean? They didn't have their starters. Looney played 5 minutes. He's the only starter that played at all. He played
Sure.
5 minutes all in
Right.
the first quarter and never saw him again.
Right.
And so after that, it was all Jordan Poole and the rest of the guys.
Right.
And the supporting cast, whatever you want to call it. And so for them just to be able to hang at times with this team, if they don't have those turnovers,
Yeah,
I think
it's a game
they
changer.
make it a much closer game. But
Correct.
yeah, they kept giving the ball away. And it's not that different from the last time they went to New Orleans, which was about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago. And they gave the Pelicans 36 points off 23 turnovers. Tonight they have more turnovers, 27. 31 points to the Pelicans off those turnovers. So it's hard to win games when you're giving that many points to your opponent.
Right. And continuing on that, though, one of the good positives, most of the games going into this game, first quarter strong, second quarter bad. This game, first quarter bad, second quarter stronger.
Yeah.
Stronger, right? Like
Yes.
we
Yes.
Again, taking the wins where we can,
Yes.
obviously.
Okay.
All right, now we're going to talk about something that was a little bit obvious. Jordan Poole, offensively, right? We knew that when our starters sit, Jordan Poole rises to the occasion offensively. But here's the thing that most people didn't notice. He was killing it not only offensively, but I thought he had some really great defensive plays too.
Yeah.
He made quite a few touch plays, just getting involved, active hands. Look at this play right here, just being involved and excited as well, right? So his energy was up on defense. Getting fronted around Zion.
Yeah.
I mean, this is Jordan Poole right now. This is great.
The coaching staff has been on Jordan to play better defense from day one.
Right.
And so in a game like this, where you know you have to be an example, you're the guy, the veteran out there. You've had more NBA minutes than most of those guys you're playing with.
Yeah.
So let's see how you handle this responsibility. And I think for him, just to be able to put some energy out there, he's not going to lock anybody down. He's not a lockdown defender.
Sure,
He ain't going to go out there and shut. But to see him put forth the effort on defense and actually make a difference on defense, create some plays, get some deflections, just get some action going. I think that's huge for him, and that's huge for him because that's the coaching staff going, okay, you're starting to feel some defensive intensity there after a couple of years where you're all about offense.
Right.
And so just to see him go on the defensive end and actually do some things that say, okay, I want to try to get good at this. That's a positive development.
Very excited for the progress of Jordan Poole. Well, it can't all be sunshine and rainbows. And we know that tonight was not that.
Oh, boy.
So when we come back, we will make sure to cover on the things that the Warriors could have worked on. Right back here at Dubs Talk Live, presented by Fit Aid.
Dubs Talk Live is presented by Fit Aid, the #1 post-workout recovery drink in America. Try now and visit drinkfitaid.com.
My internet, guys.
Again,
My internet.
the site can't be reached.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let's do it again.
It may come up. Okay.
Here we go. Here we
Okay,
go.
there we
All
go.
right. All right. What's our comments talking about here? Here we go. Talking about
Internet can't be going down now. Come on now.
No, we're here. I'm just trying to figure out. Hey, Andy. Oh, they're just talking to each other. How sweet is that?
Dub Nation.
All right, everybody saying hello. Hey, guys.
Hey,
What's up? All right, how many more back-to-backs do the Warriors have? I actually don't know, but there are quite a few. We need to call up whoever schedules the NBA games and let them know, like, what's up? What's going on?
This is unique because it's the second back-to-back that they had in New Orleans, where New Orleans was the second team.
Yes.
So
bad for those New Orleans Pelicans fans that were hoping to see some Warriors
Steph,
stars.
some Clay, some Drake. No.
Not Pelicans fans, excuse me. Warriors fans in New Orleans.
Yeah, and Pelicans
they didn't get
fans
to see their
too.
stars.
No,
That is sad.
Steve Kerr addressed that before the game. He was asked about that. He said, we're doing what's best for our team.
Yeah, you have to.
The schedule dictates in this instance that you have back-to-back games. I think the last time we played them was on the 4th. They had played in, I think, Orlando the night before.
Right.
And now they're playing them again on the second night of a back-to-back after playing last night in Houston. So I think this was an example of just where you're being careful and cautious with your veterans.
Yeah.
And Steph is 34, Draymond and Clay are 32 each, and we all know Clay's injury history. So we knew Clay wasn't going to play.
Yeah.
But I thought Steph might play and Draymond might play, but they decided to go the other way.
I mean, who knows? Like, all I know is that these back-to-backs are going to continue happening.
Yes, there are more of them.
Steve is not going to continue to worry about that as much as he's going to worry about. All righty. Welcome back to Dubs Talk Live, presented by Fit Aid. We started the show talking about all the positives, but we would not be responsible if we didn't talk about the things that we need to work on, right? So I think there's some things that are plaguing us, about 3 things. I'm going to ask you about them.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Number 1.
Okay, what
I
you
might
got?
stay on the positives here. Number 1, guarding without fouling.
Yeah.
Tonight, we attempted 19 free throws. They attempted 21. We're doing a little bit better about that.
Yeah, they actually they committed 20 fouls, and they didn't hurt themselves with those fouls. They won a bunch of three-point plays. And so I think when you can get even close to the other team, especially when you're playing with all youngsters, because young guys tend to foul more than veterans.
1,000%.
Yeah, and so when you can get to where your free throw, you have 19 free throws and they have 21, that's like a win.
Yeah.
That's a win for the Warriors because they've had some games where they shot 15 less free throws than the other team.
Right, right.
And so tonight, I think the coaching staff has been preaching this, and so the veterans. You got to stop the silly fouls, stop the careless fouls, the ones that get the team in the penalty halfway through a quarter.
Right.
Next thing you know, they're shooting free throws every chance you look around.
Right.
So tonight, they got better at that. They're hearing the message that guys, we want you to play defense, but we want you to play defense without fouling.
Yes.
And
I was actually really impressed to not have seen a lot of frustration fouls, right? This was a game where you can, right? You could have been frustrated, right? And I'm actually really impressed in the discipline that they had on defense to actually just play defense. And I think also what helped is the fact that they went zone.
Yeah.
Right? And that also helped. They did really well, in my opinion, of following the zone principles as much as they could. Pelicans were shooting the lights out.
Well, yeah.
I mean, Devonte Graham, that
6
was...
6 of 11 from 3. I mean, Devontae's a rhythm guy. And when he makes 1 or 2, look out.
Right,
if he misses the first 2, then maybe he ain't going to hurt you. But tonight, he got a couple going, and then okay, this might be one of those nights when Devonte makes his 3s, and so he got 6 of them going.
And it just so happened to be one of those nights.
Yes.
All right, so that's number 1 that's plaguing us.
Wait, before we leave turnovers, we've got to point this out.
Oh, we're not on turnovers. This is now we're going to talk about turnovers.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
All right.
Let's talk about turnovers. Obviously, tonight wasn't wonderful. You just got to frame it differently. You got to frame it differently. And the thing is, we started out with 2 back-to-back.
This one was one that was
and then this
egregious.
was right.
Yeah.
So you were talking about careless fouls before. We had a lot of careless turnovers.
What's Jordan doing? What's Jordan
tonight?
doing? Oh boy.
Just not knowing where we're going.
Yeah.
Cross-court passes. I mean, there was even one that Ty Jerome flung across the court.
Yeah.
That I was like, how in the world did that even get through? But there's just a lot of, I'm dribbling and I don't know where I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm just moving, right? I'm dribbling without purpose.
Yes.
And that's getting them caught up because they literally don't know where to go. And then what's worse, the people that are trying to rotate around them to get spot up don't know where to go either.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's been an issue.
Yes.
What are you supposed to do about it?
Well, I mean, the Warriors are supposed to have this principle of 0.5. You take the ball and you move it. You either shoot or move it. Shoot or move it.
Just for the fans at home, 0.5 basketball, meaning half a second. Make a decision.
Yes.
Move the ball.
Yes.
Quick.
Move it or shoot it. If you got an open shot, go ahead and shoot it. Yeah,
right.
But don't hesitate and don't hold the ball. And, we know Jordan Poole in particular, he can go into his dribble thing.
Right, yeah.
And a couple times
Steph
tonight, you can get away with some of that. I mean, Steph can do it because he's Steph Curry. And they allow that. And Jordan, he has some skills there, and sometimes he gets a little too happy trying to show those skills. And sometimes it ends up leading into a turnover. So tonight, Jordan had 4 in 27 minutes, which, for him is about where he's been. I mean, he had a game where he was really good last week where he had 0 turnovers.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, they've gotten somewhere. But then next game there were turnovers, and then this game you got 4. So I think Jordan is trying to do, maybe when he's playing with the kids, I say the kids, the guys when he's playing away from the veterans.
Not okay.
Yeah. When he's playing with the guys that are not veterans,
there he goes.
Maybe he's trying to do too much.
Right.
And trying to get something to happen. So Tonight, I just thought there were times when he should have passed it and moved it before, I mean, instead of dribbling 8, 10, 12 times.
Right. I think literally last night, Steph Curry put on a masterclass in how to be an offensive threat and presence while also creating for your teammates. And I think that that's probably the next masterclass that Jordan needs to take, is when you have to carry that offensive load, how do you do it in a way that you're also being productive offensively for your teammates? So when you pass the ball away for whatever reason, do you stand at the top of the key and just go, I'm
Wait for
here,
the ball.
or move to the wing and go, I'm here, or do you go off screen somewhere, or you cut through the paint and bring a defender? What are you doing for your teammates offensively?
In this defense, you're supposed to move.
Yeah.
You're supposed to move. If
Yeah.
you're a guard, you're supposed to move.
Right.
Steph and Clay specialize in movement.
Right.
Right. Steph is that
They're
rare
experts
point
in that.
guard who is, he gets rid of the ball and then he's over here, over there, over here, over there.
Right.
He makes his defender chase him around.
Right.
And defenders hate that.
Ooh,
And
they
next
get
thing you know-
tired.
Yeah, next thing you know, they're running into screens here, they're running into 1 screen, 2 screen, 3 screens.
Right.
So I think Jordan has to find that rhythm where he can play his game and do some dribbling and some of his back and forth and some of his bag stuff, but primarily understand that his role is to not just score, but keep other guys involved and engaged.
Yes.
Involved and engaged.
Yeah. There's a trust level there.
Yes.
Yeah, he's got to trust the younger guys. Last thing before we run out of time, third thing plaguing us, lack of an ability to keep a run or string a run together. I know, as the NBA has talked about the Warriors, particularly for the last 5 years.
Even more, yeah.
More than that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Third quarter, you better watch out.
Yeah.
The Warriors, whatever they were doing in the first half, it doesn't matter. The third quarter, you better watch out. They're going on a run. And I would say, regardless of these young guys, the second unit, that's just not been a thing this year as much.
Right.
And what's that about? How do we fix the fact that the Warriors cannot string a run together?
Well, part of it is that their runs are usually based on defense.
Ooh, yeah, that's true.
They turn defense into offense. And their defense hasn't given them a lot of games to where they showed up and really kind of put their imprint on the game. When they beat Houston last night, they gave Houston 120 points.
Yeah.
And that's not a team that scores a lot of points.
No.
So I don't think those runs that they became famous for, those 24-5 runs, or even if it's just 16-3 or whatever, it's a run that separates you from your opponent.
Right.
And that usually happens because their defense is getting them into transition where they can't be guarded. And next thing you know, you have Steph and Clay firing off those threes in transition, and you're looking up, you're going, oh, we were down by 3, and now we're down by 17.
Yeah.
And so that won't happen until the defense gets right. And the defense is not right, and I don't know how long it'll be before it gets right. I think at some point it will get better. There are signs it'll get better as Steve Kerr decides, mixes and matches starters with the second unit in the rotations. But until the defense gets good, you won't have a lot of runs.
Right. Well, we'll talk about all of that next. Whew. We got through the bad, y'all. We got through the bad. We're good.
Yeah.
We will talk about the future coming back. Stay right here. I feel much better now.
YouTube.
All righty, let's go. Anyone else excited to watch Steph's episode on JJ Redick's podcast?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
I actually am too. I
Yeah.
completely forgot. Thank you for the reminder.
Old man and the 3.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm very excited. Oh my God, Dee, thank you. She said I'm cute.
Oh, she's not lying.
I appreciate it.
She's pretty
Thank
cute.
you. I'm trying to be positive. All right, let's see. Oh, big up from Jamaica. Wow. Look at us international.
Dub Nation is everywhere.
I know. We really are. We really are. Young studs are really young and just need reps. Please be patient. Thank you, Neil. Thank you,
That's
Neil.
positive.
That's
See?
positive.
Yeah, that's positive.
Neil,
Okay.
you're picking up on my vibes.
right.
You're picking them up. You're picking them up.
Okay.
I always wait until All-Star Weekend to assess. It's really still way too early in the season, guys. Also, Neil. Okay. Moody has fewer turnovers per 36 minutes than JP, Dante DiVincenzo,
Yep.
Draymond, JK,
Yep.
Steph, and Anthony Lamb.
Yep.
I think his assist-to-turnover ratio would be better if he played with Steph like the first team does. We are going to talk about rotations soon, so stay tuned, folks. I just appreciate, D saying, I love watching Steph move all around. Moving the ball is key. 34 years old and still does that.
Yeah, I mean, he's an amazing physical specimen. Came into the league with all these questions about whether he could hold up, and now you got guys trying to chase him around, and they can't.
They can't.
They can't keep up.
I know the young guys are like, dang, I thought he was going to chill out, like LeBron.
No. Steph is going to run until he can't run no more.
Right. Literally. Welcome back to Dubs Talk Live. We are recapping tonight's game. Warriors lost, now 1-9 on the road, but they are coming back on Wednesday to take on the Los Angeles Clippers, going into Turkey Day, Thanksgiving. All right, so, stay on that theme.
Yeah.
What are we grateful for coming back home this Wednesday?
Well, I think you'll be grateful to see the rotations, which have been kind of a mess this season, as Steve Kerr and his staff continues to experiment. I think you will see some solidification there in terms of Draymond Green is, I think, will play more with the second unit. You saw some of that last night in Houston where he mixed it in. And I think you could use that because you put him out there with Dante DiVincenzo and Jordan Poole. You got three guys who can make plays now.
Right.
And Draymond lets Dante and Jordan run around a little bit while he has the ball at the top. So
Draymond's the adult in the room.
Yeah, he's out there. And you play those three guys along with maybe Jonathan Kuminga and Michael Green, and you got something because Draymond can rebound. Michael Green can rebound. Kuminga should be able to rebound. And so you can get something going there defensively and stop those second chance points that can kill the Warriors.
Yep.
So I think you'll see that. I also think you'll see Klay Thompson play more with the second unit too. So as Klay is such a key because he's always been a guy who toggles between the first and second units.
Yeah, that's true.
Steph usually plays the whole first quarter. Klay comes out 8 minutes in maybe, and so we can come back in to open the second quarter with the second unit. You'll see some of that. So I just think that the rotations will be maybe not immediately, but as the next 4 or 5 games go, you'll see the rotations become cleaner, make more sense, and be more productive, and hopefully find their defense.
Well, that is a lot to be grateful for. I'm sure the Warriors coaching staff will be very excited for that as well. And so will we here as we watch the Warriors go on and continue to try and clean things up. We know the Warriors are winning at home. That is their turf, excuse me.
Yep.
So super excited to see them come back, hopefully get a win on Wednesday, but we'll be paying attention, watching, talking, keeping up with you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Monte.
Oh, you know what?
For letting us know.
I'm happy to be a part of this show, and I'm happy to be partnering with you.
Yay!
Because I got to tell somebody on social media, she's a star now. She's going to be a big star soon. So she's doing her job, and she's working it out. So
I'll give him his money afterwards.
Keep an eye on her. Keep an eye on her, okay?
Thank you guys for tuning in. It's been Dubs Talk Live presented by Fit Aid. We'll be back on Wednesday.